Everyone says Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year, which is funny, because if you're Filipino, it's also the most tiring time of the year. Like, why am I exhausted before December even starts? Why is my wallet already scared? And why is there a karaoke mic somewhere, judging me? This is about you. I know it is. Because Filipino Christmas and New Year isn't just a holiday, it's a marathon. And nobody warned us. See, December hits, and suddenly the entire country switches personalities. It's September 1st. You wake up, and Mariah Carey is already outside your house, not knocking, just present. And everyone's like, wow, early Christmas spirit. No, that's not spirit. That's pressure. Because now you're expected to be happy for 4 straight months. 4. I can barely be productive for 4 hours. And this is the part nobody talks about. Filipino Christmas isn't relaxing. It's beautiful, yes. Warm, yes. But also chaotic, loud, and emotionally expensive. You've got simbang gabi at 4 a.m., which sounds holy, but feels like sleep deprivation with incense. You're half awake, questioning your life choices, promising God you'll be a better person if He lets you sleep after this. And then there's food. Oh my God, the food. Every house becomes a competitive buffet. You say, I'll just get a little. And suddenly you're holding a plate that could feed a small village. Because refusing food is illegal. I once said, I'm full. And my tita looked at me like I insulted her entire bloodline. And here's where it gets weird. The holidays are supposed to be about rest. But Filipino Christmas is about showing up. You show up to family reunions. You show up to inaanak obligations. You show up with gifts you absolutely could not afford. And you smile, even when your bank app is crying. And let's talk about New Year. Because New Year in the Philippines is not about reflection. It's about noise. It's about making sure evil spirits know you are not to be messed with. Firecrackers, horns, banging pots like we're summoning confidence for the next 12 months. And somehow, louder equals luck, which explains my entire personality. You stay up until midnight. You eat 12 grapes. You jump. You wear polka dots. You avoid chicken because apparently it means poverty, which feels unfair to the chicken. And at 12:01 a.m., you're like, okay, new year, new me. And then January 2nd hits, and you're tired, like spiritually tired, emotionally tired, socially tired. You thought you were lazy. Turns out you were just exhausted. Because Filipino holidays don't end. They taper off, slowly, painfully, with leftovers. And here's the uncomfortable truth. A lot of us enter the new year already burnt out. Before we even start. We didn't rest. We performed happiness. We didn't recharge. We hosted it. And then we blame ourselves for not feeling motivated in January, like, what's wrong with me? Nothing. You just survived December. This is the part nobody prepares you for. January guilt. You see all these posts. New goals. New habits. Grind mode. And you're like, I just want silence. I just want one morning without noise. My brain at 2 a.m. said, let's change our entire life right now. My body at 8 a.m. said, absolutely not. And that disconnect, that's where so many people spiral. Creators stop posting. Students lose momentum. Employees feel behind before the year even begins. And we think it's a motivation problem. It's not. It's recovery debt. Here's a small reframe that changed everything for me. January is not for transformation. January is for landing. You don't sprint after a marathon. You sit, you breathe, you check if your legs still work. But social media makes it feel like if you're not leveling up immediately, you're failing. Which is wild. Because growth doesn't start with pressure. It starts with capacity. And most of us have none left after the holidays. So let me tell you what actually works. Not some wake up at 5 a.m. Nonsense. Something Filipino holiday proof. You don't need big goals right now. You need one small win. 1. Tiny, embarrassingly doable, like fixing your sleep by 15 minutes, or opening your laptop without committing to doing anything, or posting something imperfect instead of waiting to feel ready. Because momentum doesn't come from motivation. It comes from proof. Proof that you can move again. And this is where Filipino culture actually helps us. We're community-based. We're resilient. We show up even when it's hard, but we forget to show up for ourselves when the noise dies down. When the holidays end and the silence hits, that's when it matters. That's when you stop performing and start listening. What do you actually need right now? Not what January expects. Not what your tita expects. Not what your feed expects. You. Here's a quick mental shift. Instead of asking, what do I want to achieve this year? Ask, what do I want to make easier? Easier mornings, easier workdays, easier consistency. That's sustainable. That's how you don't burn out by February. And if you're a creator, this matters even more, because inconsistency doesn't come from laziness. It comes from doing too much, too fast after doing too much for everyone else. You don't need a content comeback. You need a rhythm. Filipino Christmas and New Year are loud, joyful, messy, beautiful, but they take a lot out of us. So if you're entering this year feeling slow, good. That means you're human. That means you're listening. And this is your moment, not to reinvent your life, just to steady it. Try this tonight. Not tomorrow. Tonight. Pick one small thing you can do without negotiating with your energy. Do it, then stop. That's it. You don't need a new life. You need one small win. Let's level up together, quietly, starting now.